This is Brock and your block. I'm on 12th Street today between Santa Monica Boulevard and Broadway, and I'm across from PS1, a private school across the street from Stephanie Kong-Uhler's house. And if you're residents, you've said that PS1 isn't cooperating with you. You called me, asked me to come do a Brock and your block on your block. So talk to me about the problem with PS1. You're a mid-city neighbor. You live on this side of the street, across the street from PS1.
We live on an R3 residential area, zone, residential. And this school took away 3 properties, asked the neighbors for support, and has a conditional use permit to have what they told us, an outdoor study area and meditation field. And what we have is the children screaming, sports events, after-school events, amplified events, and my neighbors through this block and even on 11th Street and even in Euclid have gone to the PS1 community meetings, asked them what to do with the amphitheater that they built.
This is their athletic field now.
This is now an athletic field.
Okay, so their athletic field, you're saying, is this noise constant, or is this just their lunch break for like 20 minutes a day?
No, it's constant. They have over 300 kids. Sometimes they do a rotation of recess. So they have sports events, whether it's soccer, basketball, and some type of dodgeball game where they hit the ball on each other's head and start screaming.
And so you're saying it makes you feel like you want to hit a ball on your head?
It really, I think the constant screaming of children takes away from the serenity and the peace of one's home.
Eric says. Eric, you live across the street from PS1. So you live on the west side of the street.
Yes.
So tell me, if you have a problem with PS1 and the playground here?
Yeah, the number one issue for us living across the street and our tenants is the noise level that they produce, as you can hear in the background. And that echoes into our property, disturbing our tenants, disturbing me. And as a father of 2 children, my major concern is that I hear children screaming.
You know, I'm often told that I am the only person that has complained about this. But at City Council, over 36 residents came to City Council in 2000, and I believe, too. And over the years, every neighbor has spoken to the school, spoken to the police, spoken to planning, and we just get simply as we are listening to your concerns, and we're going to, as last year, we're going to work with the residents and look at baffling for this amphitheater.
Have they baffled their playground yet?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. In fact, I really believe they put more children on, more sports activity.
And this is a private school.
This is a private school.
I want to clarify, this is a private school in a residential area in Santa Monica.
That's right.
And there are homes right across the street from their playground on this street. This side of the street is all mixed-use apartments
and homes and houses.
Homes.
And you know, because of how the building is built, the playground, people who are 4 doors down, it's amplified. So you have a 3 bounce to it. It amplifies. Often I have neighbors from 11th Street coming over to see what is going on. And unfortunately, through the years, we've had things against the CUP, things like amplified events, renting out the field for outside vendors to have sport camp, summer camp, winter camp, and without any reasonable responsibility from the school. We're often rebuffed that it doesn't exist.
Here's an excerpt from testimony that Andrew Hoyer, president of the Mid-City Neighbors, gave in City Council chambers on April 12th.
Thank you. My name is Andrew Hoyer. I'm the president of Santa Monica Mid-City Neighbors. Yes, please go ahead and play. Slightly different issue than what you're used to dealing with in regard to noise ordinance. It's a school, right? It's a playground. Schools are allowed to make noise. Unless this plot is part of a conditional use permit that was granted in July 11th of 2001 for a proposed outdoor garden area which will be comprised largely of soft landscaping with permeable surfaces. The outdoor garden is designed with several eucalyptus trees adjacent to 12th Street. This is 12th Street. open walkways, bamboo-lined paths. Yeah, I don't see any of those. And edible landscaping. And I see a basketball court, there's a soccer yard, there's some playground equipment. The applicant intends to use the parcel for student gardens and for use as an outdoor study area. No temporary or permanent play equipment is permitted on the subject property. During operation, the site shall be used as a passive outdoor learning area. The parcel is not permitted as a playground or exercise area. Mr. Jonathan Late, formerly of the Planning Department, stated that staff's intent is to ensure that the area does not become a traditional playground. I'm not sure what you folks just saw there, but it kind of looked like a traditional playground to me. Now, this has been going on since, according to Google Maps or Google Earth, the soccer field and basketball court went in 2002.
So what could the school do to be a better neighbor? Can they do anything to be a better neighborhood?
How they're going to watch the kids, how they're going to have their population park legally, how they're going to have them not block driveways.
Now,
I
I
don't
want to
know.
make this clear. You're not against children.
I'm not against children. I have sat on all my son's safety committees in the public school system in Santa Monica, whether it's Roosevelt, Lincoln, Samo. I'm horrified when I see a PS1 parent come to pick up a child, double park, with the child in the car idling, and walk into the school.
I live close to another private school in Santa Monica. I had a question for you because I went by that private school this morning. I noticed they had safety people on every corner. Do they have that here?
Not at all. And the couple of times where they've had safety people, for example, a few months ago they put out their own stop sign on Broadway in Euclid, a stop sign. And you can check Santa Monica Gov.
So there's no city stop sign there.
No, and they had them remove it because it is not legal that an individual.
So the
puts
city
around them.
of Santa Monica had them remove the stop sign that they put up.
We're looking at the schools taking the responsibility of hiring safety personnel.
Right.
Safety personnel that actually know California traffic law.
So I understand that there are cars that idle and crawl through the alley to pick up their children and drop off their children, both on Euclid and the 12th Court Alley. Is that correct? And do they also pick up here on 12th Street?
They pick up supposedly they're aftercare students, but I have seen parents pick up their children.
So
from 12th
they're aftercare students. What time are they picking up those students?
Anywhere from 3 to 6 p.m.
And how many of those are there? Is it one or two cars, or is it multitudes?
It's multitudes of cars. Even if there's an available legal parking place, they choose to double park their car because they've been doing this for so long.
So, my understanding, I want to go back to something you said at the start. You said that their conditional use permit, which you supported years ago, and the other neighbors on the street supported for an expansion of PS1, said this would be a meditative garden, and it would be what else?
An outdoor study area.
Okay, and we're staying across the street. There's not a lot of studying going on. Give me two solutions. What can the school do, PS1 do, to try and solve this problem?
First, I think they should have the children monitored. I don't think there's enough people monitoring the behavior of the children. Joe Pelsiker did hire a sound engineer in the month of August when there's no children. And of course, the sound engineer said there's no sound coming from the school. And
so you believe there is sound coming from the school. So you'd like them to either build a wall here and try and baffle the sound, or discontinue use of the playground.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Good to talk to you.
Thank you for coming out.
I want all of you to know that we're being monitored by the headmaster of the school. He's been across the street this whole time. Headmaster Joe Pelsiker attempted to stop the interview. After a few tense moments, the situation was diffused. I agreed to meet privately with Joel. Mr. Pelsiker refused to give an on-camera interview. However, he gave me a great tour of PS1 and talked off the record about the school, the elementary school playground, and ways to solve the noise problems that obviously exist. I suggested, and he concurred, that a solid fence, sound baffling could be a great compromise. However, Joel seems to be reluctant to approach city officials himself. It's pretty obvious the sound from the PS1 playground has been an annoyance for over a decade. The 12th Street neighbors are now beyond fed up and want action. They have repeatedly contacted the Santa Monica Police Department, the Planning Department, and the City Council. You know, conditional use permits are often issued in Santa Monica, but without continuous oversight, they're often violated. The residents, like children, they just don't want to hear a wall of noise 7 hours a day, 5 days a week on a year-round basis. You know, it's time for our city officials to listen to the neighbors who are simply asking for peace and quiet in their own neighborhood. For Brock and Your Block, I'm Phil Brock.